We'll get going. So let's start in child's pose you start child's pose right at the back of the mat, big toes together and send your knees out wide. Just drop hips towards heels. And for today, go ahead and reach your arms forward, fingers all the way as far towards the front of the mat as you can get them. And then drop your chest and your forehead down and just pull the shoulder blades down away from the fingertips. So pull your shoulder blades towards the back of the mat. Yeah. And just feel what that feels like to kind of feel a little strength here. Lift the elbows, take a big breath in, push into the fingers. And then when you exhale, see if you can create a little bit of softness and simply just drop your elbows. Drop the weight of your whole body into the mat. Yeah, deep full breath in. And a deep full breath out. Inhale. And just exhale. And if you haven't already, seal your lips, breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. So for the last, I don't know, maybe a year or so, I have been struggling a little bit as a parent, kind of strike that balance of being like firm, but also kind. Like when my son does something I'm not particularly happy with, if I'm too kind, he doesn't listen to me, right? And if I'm too firm, it seems to just backfire and he kind of mirrors that. And I'm like, ew, I don't know that either. One of my favorite Victoria Erickson quotes that speaks to this, at least for me. She says, you can be both soft and intense, both vulnerable and strong, both traditional and rebellious, both romantic and realistic, both feminine and oceanic, yet filled with slow burning fire. There is possibility inside of paradox. There is a universe of different perceptions. Right? Don't feel that we have to be one way or another. This has come up for me in lots of different places in life. Right now, just happens to be parenting. When I was in high school, I have this memory of sitting in the middle of the room in my government class. They ranked us from most conservative to least, and I just sat in the middle because I just couldn't understand how someone could be so entirely to one side or the other. It's come up in lots of different places. Maybe it speaks to you, maybe not, but just some food for thought as it applies to this practice to see if you can be both strong and calm. You feel your power through your body. Do the poses to whatever feels like the fullest, strongest expression for you. But also do the poses that feel like, you're creating ease, releasing tension at the same time. And deep full breath in. Nice big exhale out. And then rise up to a tabletop onto the hands and knees. Breathe in. And when you exhale, just walk your knees underneath the hips. So they're like right underneath the hips. Yeah. Push down into your left hand and take a really big breath in. Reach your right arm up to the sky. So take a big stretch, open across the chest. And when you exhale, just bring your right hand behind your head. So push into the left hand and then see if you can look up at the right elbow, open up. And when you exhale, you're just gonna try to tap your right elbow down to the ground, bend the left elbow. Yeah, do that 2 more times. Inhale, open up, look up. Exhale, drop and tap. 1 more time, take a big breath in, open to the right. Huge exhale, tap. This time when you open, reach all the way up and out to the right fingers, stretch your fingers up to the sky. Exhale, weave underneath the body, right arm underneath the left, right? Thread the needle, drop the right cheek, yeah. And crawl the left hand forward for a moment, all the way to the front of the mat. Push the back of your right hand into the mat. And then take your left hand all the way up to the sky behind your back and see if you can grab onto your right hip crease. So left hand to the right hip crease. And then just slide your fingers in there, yeah. From that position, push into the right hand and peel your left ribs up towards the sky and back away from the right hand. Right, so the left shoulder blade's going up and then back, back, back away from the right hand as you open across the chest. Yeah, soften your neck and your face. But create that strength and power. Push into the right hand to peel on open. One more big breath in. And when you exhale, just lower your left hand down to the mat right underneath the left shoulder. Push down into the left hand, big reach up and out to the right hand. Inhale one more time, stretch to the sky. And then exhale, lower the right hand down. So same thing, other side. Inhale the left arm up and just exhale it behind your head. And push into the right hand. Take a breath in. See if you can peel your chest open a little bit more. Look at the left elbow. Exhale, bend the right elbow, tap the left elbow down. Okay, 2 more times. Full inhale to open. And exhale, just tap. Yeah, 1 more round. Exhale, tap. Breathe in to open up, reach the left fingers all the way up to the sky, stretch, reach, breathe. And then let it go. Weave left arm underneath the right. Drop the left cheek to the mat. And then just walk the right hand forward. So you lengthen out the right arm. Push into the back of your left hand and then take your right hand behind your back towards the left hip crease. So you're creating a foundation first, right? Push into the back of the left hand and then start to blossom open from there and like literally blossom open, peel your right chest muscles on the right side up towards the sky, back away from the left hand, and breathe, breathe, breathe. Push into the back of the left hand. Reach the right arm up, breathe in. Exhale, lower the right hand down. Press into every single finger on the right side, and then inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky, open across the chest, big stretch. Exhale, tabletop, release. Now when you breathe in, just be here. And when you breathe out, tuck your toes, downward facing dog, hips up and back, okay, breathe. Let's create that foundation first. So walk your hands forward a little bit more on your mat. Spread your fingers evenly. So go ahead and look at your hands for a moment. Make sure there's space, equal space between every single finger. Push into the pads of every single fingertip. And then from there, drop your head, pull your hips back, 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 away from the wrists, away from the shoulders. Send your thighs, knees, shins to the back of the room. Breathe in. And then find that ease. Exhale, soften. Everywhere, right? Drop the heels, relax the face. Soften through your belly. Big full breath in right where you are. Huge exhale out. Now walk the big toes together. And then inhale the right leg up and back. Let's take a big breath in, send the right leg all the way up to the sky. And when you exhale, just lower it down, cross the right ankle over the left ankle. Instead of coming straight back to down dog, right ankle over left. Yeah, and then inhale, reach the right leg high again. Take a huge stretch. And this time when you exhale, look between your hands, lizard pose. So send the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Right foot all the way to the outside of the right hand. Yeah. And squeeze the right knee in towards your right shoulder. Then your left thigh to the sky. And draw your chest forward a little bit more. Push into the left hand. Inhale, reach your right arm all the way up to the sky. And guess what? Exhale, bring it behind your head. Right hand behind your head again. Take a breath in, look up at the right elbow. And take a breath out, bend the left elbow, try to tap your right elbow down to the earth inside of the right foot. Okay, 2 more times. Inhale, open up. Exhale, tap. So we're getting into the hips, the hamstrings a little bit this time. Big breath in. Exhale, tap the right elbow down. And this time when you inhale, push into the left hand, reach your right hand up, 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 up. And exhale, just drop right forearm inside of the right leg. And by right forearm, I really mean drop your forearm. And if it doesn't come all the way to the ground, that's okay. Just in that direction, right forearm inside of the right leg. Then the left elbow. Squeeze your right knee into the right shoulder. Power up the back leg. Breathe. Yeah, so you can get a little bit longer. So don't like hunch over to get that forearm down. Send your chest forward. Nice. Push the left hand down. Take a big breath in. Reach the right arm all the way back up. Open up. And exhale, plant the right hand. Step the right foot back. Downward facing dog. Just back to downward facing dog. Push the hands forward. Pull the hips back. Yeah, inhale, shift forward. High plank. When you exhale, elbows straight to the back of the room. Lower all the way down to your belly. Cobra pose. Lift your hands first and then your chest. Inhale. And then exhale, come through tabletop. Tuck your toes and push back down dog. Left leg high. Take a big breath in. Stretch the left toes all the way up and back. And then exhale, cross. Left ankle over right. And just breathe here for a moment. Push the hands forward. Pull the hips straight back. Next breath in, reach your left leg high. Exhale, look between your hands, but step the left foot wide to the outside of your left pinky. Yeah, breathing. Nice strong lizard, right thigh high, chest forward. Plant the right hand, lift the left arm, twist, inhale. Exhale, left hand behind your head. Awesome. Inhale, maybe look up at the left elbow. And then exhale, drop your chest, try to tap the left elbow down to the earth. And 2 more times. Inhale to open. Exhale, left elbow inside of the left foot. Give it a go 1 more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale to open up. Stretch the left fingers up. And then exhale, just drop the whole left forearm inside of the left leg and breathe. Chest forward. Right thigh, kneecap high. Squeeze the left knee into the left shoulder. Soften through your breath. Yeah. Okay, we can be soft and intense at the same time. Another friend has been telling me how her therapist has been talking about the different parts of her. And sometimes they complement each other and sometimes they seem like polar opposite. Like, yeah. We're complex, we're human, right? And push into the right hand, take a big breath in, reach your left arm up 1 more time, stretch. And then exhale, just lower the left hand, step back, downward facing dog. When you inhale, shift forward, high plank, strong. Exhale, let it all go. Keep that strength until that last moment, and then just release, untuck the toes. Cobra pose, lift your hands and your chest, spine strengthening. And then down dog, empty out, push back. Yeah, take a big breath in right here. And a huge breath out right here. Next time you inhale, rise up to the balls of the feet, lift your heels up high. And then exhale, pull the hips back and bend your knees. Try to pull your hips to the back of the mat. Loaded beast, push the hands forward, pull the hips back. Take a big full breath. Empty it out, every little drop. And on empty, look between your hands. Step or float, feet to hands. Right, half lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Push down into the feet, big toes, little toes, center of the heels. Take a little bend in the knees and just slowly come up to stand. And when you get up there, practice just like letting your clothes hang the way that they're hanging, even if you think they look silly. I'm the only one who's going to be on camera later, so no. This, it only records me, I promise. But still, can you just kind of let your hair be, your clothes be, just stand, breathe, be in all of the contradictions, all of your power, all the things you struggle with. You just let it be for a moment, whatever it is. And then push down into the big toes, little toes, and center of your heels. Take a breath in, reach up high. And when you exhale, diver's pose. So swing the arms back like you're doing an airplane. Lift your chest up like you're doing cobra. And push your hands into the air. See if you can rise up to the balls of your feet. Lift your heels up high. And breathe for 5. Right, like an airplane taking flight, lift your chest. 4. Still here for 3. Palms into the air, maybe chest up a little bit higher, lift your nose. And just be here. Take one more full breath in. One more full breath out. Soften the knees, release your heels, take a breath in, reach all the way up high to the sky, open up across the chest, and then exhale, swan dive forward, like take up all the space, hinge from the hips and fold. Halfway lift, breathe in, so pull your chest forward. High to low plank, breathe out, bend the knees, plant your hands, you can step, you can float, any way you want to get there, but this time try to stop when shoulders line up with elbows. Yeah, don't go lower than that, and then up dog, push into the hands, lift the chest, or you can do cobra again, right? Yeah, down dog, push the hands forward, pull the hips straight up and back, or you have that option to come to the knees. Right? Inhale the right leg high, stretch up and back. Exhale, right ankle over left, just tap down, drop. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, lizard pose. Look between the hands, but step the right foot wide to the outside of the right hand. Yeah. This time, plant the left hand and turn all of your toes to the right, both feet. So you're on the baby toe side of your left foot. All of your toes to point to the right. You can stay like that or reach the right hand back behind you. Gaze at the right hand. Yeah, take a tiny little drop of the hips and then inhale, reach your hips up and the right arm up. Exhale, tiny little drop of the hips. Push into the left hand, inhale, lift the hips and arm up. Yeah, one more time. And on this next one, when you lift your hips, turn your toes back to the front of the room and reach your right arm forward to the front of the room and just breathe. All right, left thigh high, chest forward, reach forward. Nice, lower the right hand inside of the right foot. Half split, Skandasana. So listen up, you're just gonna walk your hands to the left and start to pivot onto your left foot, like you're doing warrior 2 with the back foot, or with both feet actually. All right, so spin the left foot flat. Yeah, and then start to turn your left toes up towards the sky and drop your hips down. Right knee bent, left leg long. Let's see if that worked. Yeah, you can take your right arm into the right knee, kind of push your right knee back towards the baby toe. Awesome. Still breathing, yeah. Steady breath, yeah. All right, when you inhale, we're going big all the way to the back of the mat, warrior 2. So you can lift your hips up, push your hands down and walk yourself back. Or you can stay low, bend both knees and then kind of just pivot your feet, left toes to the back, spin your right foot flat, rise up, warrior 2. Gaze over the left fingers. Press into the right baby toe. Sometimes it's like easy to be strong and kind of tap into that part, the fierce part, when we're doing something where like we know it, we have confidence. And then those kind of funky things like that transition we just did, it's like, what are we doing? I don't know. But see if you can bring both, right? Kind of exploration, confidence, strength, ease, all the different perspectives. Yeah. Keep the legs like they are. Reverse your warrior under inhale. So reach your left arm up high, right hand behind your back, or down the right leg and just drop your hips. Yeah. Nice. Take a big inhale to reach up. Exhale, low plank to the back of your mat. So windmill your hands to frame the left foot, pivot to the ball of the right. High and a low push up, step the left foot back. Up dog, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. And when you get to down dog, right leg high, take a big full inhale, use that whole inhale, stretch up, up, up. Exhale, right ankle over left, just and then inhale, right leg high. And when you exhale, lizard pose, right foot to the outside of the right hand, right? It's right foot again. Take a breath in, just turn all of your toes to the right and reach to the back. And when you take a breath out, drop your hips for a moment. So just one time this time. Inhale, push into the left hand, lift your hips, pivot your toes back, and drop your right hand to the inside of the right leg. Start to walk your hands to the left, spin your feet, drop the hips, Sandasana. So right knee bent, left leg long, right knee bent at the back of the mat. Yeah, take a pause, take a moment. Next time you inhale, strong, confident warrior two to the front. Pivot your feet to the front, left toes to the front, expand, open through your arms. Just get here, be here, own it. Exhale. And then reverse breathe in, left arm high. And come all the way down to low plank, let it go. Hands frame the left foot, step it back. You got it. Up dog, breathe in. And down dog, breathe out. Left leg high, nice big breath. Cross left ankle over the right. Kind of laughing. We're doing this sequence right now. I was thinking how lots of folks have been traveling, so trying to get into different parts of the body. Left leg high, take a big breath in. Exhale, look forward. Step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. And lizard pose. I'm laughing because I realized I haven't traveled at all. Okay, plant the right hand at all this summer. Turn all the toes to the left. Or trip back, cancels. Left arm back behind you. Yeah. Drop the hips, breathe in, reach up, lift the hips, breathe out. And nice deep breath in, drop. Exhale, lift, or maybe you do the breath in the opposite direction, but do this one more time. And then next time, lift your hips, pivot your toes all the way back to the front. You're on the ball of the back foot. Drop the left hand inside of the left foot. Spin your back foot flat and then start to walk your hands to the right. And then see if you can drop your hips and pivot your back toes to the back of the room and then just lift those toes up. Side lunge. Yeah, press your left elbow into the left knee. Lift your chest a little if you can, yeah. Nice. Next time you breathe in all the way to warrior two at the back of the mat. You can lift your hips or stay low. But when you get there, right toes to the back. Reach through the fingers. Right, be here. Let go of all the other stuff we just did. Just be here. Yeah, hips stay low. Next inhale, reverse, right arm high, left hand behind the back, and breathe. If you can maybe drop the hips. Nice big inhale to reach up. Exhale, let it all go to the back of the mat. Windmill the hands. Empty the breath, right? Your exhale. And then when you start to breathe in again, you kind of refuel to open up front of the body, up dog. Yeah, and let it go as you open up the back of the body. Downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, left ankle over right. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, look forward, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Take a breath in, pivot all your toes to the left, reach the left arm back behind you. Take a breath out, just drop the hips. And then inhale, reach your left arm up overhead, pivot back to your lunge. And when you exhale, start to walk your hands to the right. Keep walking your hands to the right, turn the right toes up, side squat. Yeah, all the way back to warrior two. Pivot your feet, pivot your hips, right toes to the front. Expand, open, right? Bend the right knee, lengthen the left. Yeah. Next inhale to reverse. You got here. Open up. And then exhale, let it all go. Chaturanga. High to low, just at that release, emptying. Up dogs to open. Down dogs also to open, just a different part of the body. Yeah. Nice. Take a breath in, rise up to the balls of your feet. And when you exhale, bend the knees, pull your hips back. You can step or float to the front of the mat, feet to hands. Half lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. And just push down big toes, little toes, heels. And slowly roll up to stand. No rush to get there yet. So when you do get up all the way to stand, push into both feet, reach your arms up high, inhale. And when you exhale, airplane pose, just send your left leg back behind you. As you do the same thing in your upper body we did before. So push the hands into the air, lift the chest, push your left heel backwards this time. And see if you can internally rotate that left leg. So like left knee down towards the ground, left thigh in towards the right, and breathe. Yeah, see if you can create a little more space, reach the fingers back, lift the chest up and forward. Let's take one more big breath in. Exhale, simply lower the left foot to meet the right, come back to stand. Push into both feet, reach high, inhale. Exhale, airplane, other side, shift your weight to the left foot. And swing the arms back, kick the right foot back and breathe. Draw your chest forward, push the right heel back. Press the palms into the air to lift a little more. And full deep breath, steady focus. And one more big inhale. And exhale, just lower down, right foot meets the left. Right up at the front of the mat, push into the feet, reach up high, breathe in. And turn the hips, fold all the way forward to breathe out. Inhale, half lift, chest forward. And when you exhale, high to low plank, let it go. Yeah. Upward facing, breathe in. Downward facing, breathe out. And shift forward again, high plank. And this time when you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly, just all the way down to the earth. Untuck your toes. Slide up onto your forearms for Sphinx pose. So you need to have a little bit of space around you for this next one. So if you brought a water bottle or blocks or whatever, just move them out of the way so you can lengthen out your arm, one arm, and like do a half circle and you're not going to hit anything. That's the criteria. Yeah. And then back into Sphinx if you needed to do that. Push the pads of the fingers into the earth. And this time try to like claw the floor or your mat, like you're trying to pull the floorboards or your mat back towards your hips. So going to drag the floor back towards your hips and at the same time lift your chest up and forward away from your hips. Yeah. And there's your Sphinx. Take a breath in. See if you can relax the glute muscles. And then exhale, drop chin to chest and look to the right. Look to the right shoulder. Everything else is still staying the same. And then slide your right knee along the floor towards your right elbow. So you're just going to take the right knee, bend it, and slide it up, up, up towards the right elbow. Yeah. And maybe actually see if you can lengthen out your right leg there for a moment. Push into the forearms, lift your chest. Yeah. Yeah. If the right leg's lengthened, go ahead and just bend the knee again. And then take your left arm, cross it over the right arm, drop all the way down to your left ear, your left cheek. And take your right arm on top of the left, right hand on top of the left. And just totally let your body release into the mat right now. Okay, you're bent. Really chill. Start to crawl your right hand up over your head like a little spider along the floor, pavement. And then when you exhale, without moving anything else, reach the right arm all the way over to the right, down towards your toes, and on top of the left hand again. Just do that 2 more times. Inhale, crawl the right fingers up overhead, all the way out to the right. Try to keep the right arm straight, even if your arm doesn't get that close to the mat, even if you have to lift your arm up. And do that 1 more time. Try to keep the right arm straight, crawl it up overhead, all the way to the right, down towards the toes, and right. And as I say, inhale, lift your right hand straight up towards the ceiling and follow it with your gaze. Look at the right hand. And then when you exhale, reach the right hand out to the right without lifting the right knee. Right, so you're reaching your right arm in the opposite direction as the right knee. And then just turn the palms of both hands to face down to the ground. And see if you can simply release the right shoulder. Release the right shoulder. And take a few breaths just to be here. Let the body melt into the mat. Maybe close your eyes so that you stop doing. Other than that, focus on your breath. Release. Yeah. One of the more powerful stories I recall of kind of living in the balance between strength and ease is a friend of mine talking about how she finds balance between happiness and grief. She talks about finding this balance while struggling as a parent of an alcoholic child, and a child who was using drugs, but then became an adult who was finding sobriety, and then an adult who died in a drunk driving accident. And I can't imagine a bigger reason to just sit in grief and not tap into joy. Tell you on the other side a little bit about what she has done to find this balance. But turn the palms of the hands to face up. And just take a breath in and reach your right arm all the way up high to the sky. And then when you exhale, bring the right hand on top of the left. And come back to center, back onto your forearms for Sphinx. Take a breath in. And when you exhale, just slide the right leg down to meet the left. So you're back in your Sphinx pose, claw the mat, push your hands down, pull your hands back towards the hips, and lift your chest up. And if anything I said happened to leave like a pit in your stomach, can you just exhale best you can to let that go? If anything else is coming up for you that's causing distraction or tension, same thing. Just a practice to see if we can release. A big breath in. Exhale, drop the chin and look over at the left shoulder, and then slide your left knee all the way up towards your left elbow. Right, push into the forearms, lift your chest. If you did it on the other side, maybe take a moment to lengthen out the left leg and see what that feels like. Try to drop your hips down and forward. And if you lengthen out the leg, just bend it again. And then take your right hand across the left arm, over the left arm, and drop your right cheek to the mat, towards the mat. Take your left hand on top of the right hand, and take a couple moments to simply let every muscle hang off the bones, like no effort. Just let go. And then just enough effort to start to crawl your left hand along the floor, up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, send that arm out to the left and down. Left hand on top of the right. And let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, crawl up overhead. Exhale back down and around. I have like just enough space. If you find that you're too close to a wall or something like that, right? You just adjust your body so you can get that full benefit. And then land with the left hand on top of the right hand. Next time you breathe in, lift the left arm straight up to the sky. When you exhale, send the left arm straight out to the left. Yeah, look with the left hand. Turn the palms of both hands to face down. And just drop. Try to keep the left knee relaxed to the ground, your shoulders releasing towards the earth as well. Less physical effort, only physical effort here, just to focus on your breath. So my friend, in a lot of ways, what she did to start to, she calls it transforming to joy, to start to, even with the grief still there, move to a place of joy. There's a lot of yoga, a lot of breathing, a lot of this, a lot of just noticing the beauty around her, even if she didn't quite feel it yet. Just observing what was there, even if her heart was still kind of off in this other place of grief. This is practice, right? Observing what's right in front of you and not labeling it as good or bad or labeling yourself as one thing or another, but really just noticing all the different parts. Simply observing them without trying to react or fix or change them. My friend, Lisa's her name, she also found transformation through art. Just through creativity, allowing whatever to come out onto her page, onto the canvas, without trying to put anything there. That's probably enough rambling for me today. Turn the palms of your hands to face up. And when you inhale, just reach your left arm up to the sky, follow it with your gaze. Exhale, left hand back on top of the right hand again. And then just enough effort to come back onto your forearms, Sphinx, inhale. And when you exhale, lengthen out the left leg to meet the right. Push into the forearms, push into the tops of your feet. And let's kind of find that fiery part in each of us with some forearm plank, breath of fire. Just going to be about 1 minute. Push into the forearms and see if you can lift your hips up. If you can, lift your knees up and just start to vigorously exhale, pumping your belly in towards your spine. So exhale through the nose. Yeah, just like that. See if you can keep a rhythm going. We got about 30 more seconds, right? Just keep on going. Do what you can. Try to keep that rhythm, let go of everything else. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Stay here. Take a big breath in through your nose and then stick out your tongue. Lion's breath, just to let it go. Drop to the knees. Rise up onto your hands. And one big puppy pose. So keep your hips over your knees. Reach your hands as far forward as you can. And then drop your chin and chest towards the ground. Please don't drop your forehead to the ground because you lose all the juicy stretch in here. For me, it's like all of the challenge. I did something to my right shoulder. And so this is like super challenge. It's so tempting to just drop my forehead and then like, oh, it feels so easy. But I lose all of the value. So chin instead of forehead, please. Just take 3 full deep breaths. Use the exhale to melt, release anything that needs releasing. The inhale to just be here to notice. And then push into the hands to lift the hips. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. And just easy way, however you can, easiest way, come onto your back and hug your knees straight to your chest. Just let the whole length of your spine, from the back of the neck all the way down to the base of the spine, release to the mat. If you happen to be like crossing your toes or your ankles, can you just let them uncross? Drop the knees towards the chest. And one more big full inhale. And then when you exhale, Shavasana, final rest, lengthen out your legs. Let your feet flop open. Arms by the sides, palms face up. And for these last couple of minutes, you don't even need to control your breath. You don't even need to notice. Simply see if you can just let yourself be. It doesn't work, and if you start to notice things, that's okay. But the moment you notice them, can you just let them pass on by and give it a go? Just be. Keep your body still. But start to notice again. If you haven't been noticing, just notice how your body feels, the rhythm of your breath. Like, was that enough time for your heart rate to slow down? Or maybe like mine, it's still something. Notice any sounds you hear, maybe where they're coming from, if you can identify that. And just start to wake up the body, getting movement that feels good for you. Maybe a big stretch. And then find your way to one side or the other. Just come into a ball, to a fetal position. Noticing, observing the parts of you that maybe don't need to be so on in this moment, the ones you can see. The ones you do want to hold on to in this moment. And find your way up to comfortable seated position. Yeah. And when you get there, hands to heart center, palms together to touch. I didn't plan to share about my friend Lisa today, but I'll put it on the recording because I'll share this online. Lisa Frechette, she has a a book called Transforming to Joy, a lovely Facebook group for anyone who's really just struggling with grief of any kind. I find her to be so helpful. So Google her, check it out if you know anyone who needs some of that. Yeah, thumbs to the center of the forehead. Let's take that moment to see yourself and each other exactly as we are, all the parts, accepting, right, all the parts. And bow chin to chest. Seal the practice. Namaste. And I'm gonna quit that recording. And yeah, happy Friday. It's good to